Hey, welcome everybody here on a Wednesday night. It's Wednesday, Jamie. I almost
It
forgot.
is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, all day, every day. Welcome back to the Maple Ridge Super Truck Series here. We're at Myrtle Beach tonight, which is a little bit changed in the schedule, but a really cool one. I'm a fan of this track. It is a cool little track. You've got turns one and two with the turtles in it. And if you don't know what a turtle is, don't go find out. Large bumps down there on the inside of one and two. These super lates are going to have a lot of issues navigating that because you can't quite just pinch that corner off. And as we were watching in practice there a little bit, Jamie too, they're a little loose off too. So going to be a lot of car control here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little short track down there in Myrtle Beach. We've got 105 laps of that tonight. And yeah, it looks like these guys are struggling a little bit on corner exit. The track looks slick and definitely different from what we've seen so far this season in the first two races. So should be some exciting racing, and hopefully they'll get this figured out and have some good long runs here before this night's over.
Yeah, because there's 105 laps here tonight, so it's going to be a lot of hard racing here under the lights at in Myrtle Beach, but a lot of fun too. But as we talk each and every week, a lot of great sponsors have come on board to not only support Maple Ridge and everything that they're doing, but us here at Goat Locker. And we always appreciate everybody that comes into the sport, helps out. These guys come out each and every week to get out here and have some fun and race, but also to talk about the things that they're passionate about, their local companies, their local businesses, and every week, Jamie, we talk a lot about Vermont Sim Racer. We had a chance last year to talk to them, and guess what? Here again tonight, we got a chance to talk to them again. So, welcome to the booth, Mike.
Hey guys, nice to be here.
Yeah, great to have you here tonight. As we're a little bit into the season here, been a ton of great racing here this season. So, tell us what's new and happening up there with the Vermont Sim Racer.
Not much is new. We've been pretty much just trying to keep keep things rolling, keep the wheels on. Um, still sort of dealing with a little bit of the leftover COVID issues, but we're still open and people are still coming in, so we're starting to get out there in the ether.
Well, Mike, question I've got for you: have you gotten that Smash Room going yet?
We looked into it and found out that it was going to be more trouble than it was worth. But we smashed plenty of things around here. I think we did a good job on the bathroom door the other night, accidentally. But
I'm telling you, man, I think you got $1 million idea with that Smash Room, especially after some of these league races that we watch. Not so much here in this series, but some of the other ones. Man, it'd be a perfect way for some guys to blow off some steam after some hard luck in the racing.
yeah, we'll have to add that as a service once we get the league racing going here at Vermont Sim Racing. We had plans to do that. We haven't really got it rolling yet, but hopefully soon going to get that off. And I'm sure that that frustration level might get us some more takers on the accident.
Right on. So, Alex let us know that you are actually sponsoring in real life tonight out here. I'm not sure what number he is in real life, but out here he's number 7, Cooper Bouchard. Tell us a little bit about that endeavor.
Oh yeah, well Cooper's a great guy. He's sort of a hometown favorite here in the town of Heinsberg, and um, he comes from a racing family. His mom and dad are his manager and pit crew, and we got our logo on the rear end of this car from last year, and well, actually the rear end of that car is now our bar here. He gave us the back bumper, and we built it right into the light. So happy to be happy to be on board, happy to be able to help.
Well, that is really cool to be able to do it in real life and what you guys are doing, with the sim racing world as well. I mean, that's got to be a perfect mixture there. And to have the rear of the car as one of your bar tops is pretty awesome too.
Yeah, it worked out really well just to get the word out quicker to the race fans. Of course, there's a possibility that a place like Sim Racing bar can sort of get the reputation of being like an arcade, and that's what we were trying to display. We really wanted to connect with the local race fans, local racers, and that they can come out and feel welcome. And so far, that's starting to happen. We've had quite a few people come in and say, drive around
That is awesome. So remind everybody, I mean, how many sim racing rigs do you have set up? And kind of take us through, what an experience is like there at your place.
Well, right now we have a website, vermontsimracer.com, where people can go on and they select a time slot and they come in for an hour. We charge $25 per seat per hour, and they come in, and if they've had any sim racing experience, we try to get them in the car and on a track that they're most interested in. A lot of times people come in and just kind of learn about it, and we sort of try to figure out what kind of driving they're most interested in. A lot of times we put people in Miatas with automatic gearboxes right at Lime Rock, which is where everybody ought to start racing from, and just have them learn how to just handle the sim and keep the car on the track. Then move them up in their car with a little more power, maybe get them shifting, and give them a couple pointers. It's amazing how quick people kind of catch on and start to put halfway decent lap times, even if they've never driven in a sim or in a real race car at all.
Well, that's awesome, man. And again, we truly appreciate having you guys on board as a sponsor here for this series. This has been one of our more favorite series. A lot of great drivers come out and race each and every week here. It is really cool to see and hear about how you're training some drivers up there, getting people into the sim racing world, and getting them to understand what it is. And it's just not as easy as it looked. And I think you almost said it perfectly too. You don't want that reputation of being an arcade. I mean, this is some true life simulation stuff. So we also appreciate you taking the time to come up and hang out with us here in the booth here for a little bit. We'll let you get back to what you were doing, but thanks for coming out, Mike, and stop by the booth anytime.
Right on, guys. Thank you so much, and look forward to watching the race after. Thanks.
Awesome, man. We'll see you.
Well, there you have it. The owner of Vermont Sim Racer up there, checking in with us here tonight. So awesome to talk to him. We got a chance to talk to him last season, so good to have him up here this one. But we've got a race going on right now, Jamie. We're on lap number 11 of 105, and Mario Urcolani is showing some strength right now.
Yeah, our race winner from week 1. He had a rough go of it last week. Ended up not finishing there at Daytona. But here he is leading this race again out to about an 8/10 of a second lead over Christopher Morse and Jacob Ellingson there and running top 3. So good clean start to these guys. Already 12 laps in. Fortunately, well, not unfortunately, we were talking to Mike there and we kind of missed the start of this race, but these guys have kept it clean and we haven't really had much to talk about.
No, I mean, they got it sorted out single file pretty quickly here, and everybody seems to have found some space. I mean, don't look now, Jamie, but Alex Marinelli's up there in 4th position in the number 17 machine.
Yeah, he started 4th and he's hanging out in 4th, doing a good job of holding on to that position. He's about 2.5 seconds back in the leader. One I'm kind of watching right now, Mike D'Amico, uncharacteristically back in 9th place. He did start 14th, so he's up to 9th. He did put down a qualifying lap. Don't know if that was intentional or not. Maybe he just wanted to have some added stress tonight to work his way through the field here at Myrtle Beach. Not real sure there, but not running up front right now like we typically see him.
No, not at all. And maybe just had a bad qualifying time. Who knows what happened there, but he's coming up through the field. And we were talking about this before, and there's Cooper Bouchard back in the number 7 machine. Got his car up into the top 10 here. And you can see that Cooper's, he's been on iRacing for a little while here. Caution has come out.
No, the 42 of Matt White just backed down the track right into the leader.
Oh, and you'll see here the 09 gets into the back of the 42, spins him around. 3 cars parked there in the corner. Oh, yep, and then right down into, oh my goodness, into our leader there. So Mayhem here. What a tough break there.
Yeah, you can't do that. That is bad juju right there. Just hold the brakes, let traffic get by you. There's nothing stopping you from going a lap down at that point, so there's no reason to move that car. Leader just got taken out of this race pretty much needlessly right there. So Mario Urcolani, Again, after a tough week last week, goes from leading this race. He's having to come in here and use his fast repair really early in this one. Hopefully he's going to be able to rebound here and get that car back up front. If not, could be 2 long weeks in a row for him.
Yeah, just an incredibly tough break for our race leader, Mario Ercolani. Getting caught up in another accident there as a car was trying to get itself righted and came back down the track and ran right into him, but he's got that car fixed up. We know there's a lot of steam under the hood, and I guarantee right now there's probably a lot of steam underneath the helmet of that number 41.
Yeah, you can just about see it from here.
But that will...
Those brake rotors aren't the only thing that's red on that 41 car. I can tell you that right now.
No, sir. That is probably one mad driver right now, but we'll see if he can work his way back up through the field again. Very strong car here, but that will turn over the lead to Christopher Morris Jr. And man, that's not the man you want to turn the lead over to of a race to, because a lot of times we see that number 3 out front, and that's exactly where he stays. But he does have Jacob Ellingson following right behind him. Second position, Alex Marinelli has now moved up into third. James Goshen in the number 85 machine up 3 spots from where he had started. A lot of damage to the front end of that car as well. We'll have to see how it runs. John Dickerman in that great-looking number 13 machine, one of my favorite paint schemes that's out here. Randy Koch in the 19's running back in 6th position. We talked about Cooper Bouchard. He's now up into 7th. That's going to move Mario Ercolani back to 8th after having to make that pit stop. Kevin Dianovich is running back at 9th. Michael D'Amico now is going to be up back in 10th. Peyton Hill in that number 48 machine is back to 11th. Matt White, we just kind of chronicled what happened there with him, but is now back to 12th. And then right now, running last in the field and running in 13th position is Kevin Otis in that 09. Cars are stacked up 2 by 2. And getting ready to take the green flag here on what will be coming up on lap number 22 of our scheduled 105 here tonight in the Maple Ridge Super Truck Series. Brought to you by Vermont Sim Racing.
They're off.
I don't know if Jacob Ellingson fell asleep behind the wheel of the car, but...
Well, Jake does sleep a lot, so that's a very good chance that is what happened there.
He's able to get that number 27 machine down into 3rd position. Gave up a lot of track space there as Christopher Morris Jr. got a great restart, as we typically see him do. Out to the lead right now, but that number 17 machine is hot on his tail.
He sure is. He sure acts like he's driving awfully offended that we talked about how slow he was in the first race of the season. Came out there last week, looked like he was trying to win the race, and now here he is tonight running in 2nd.
Yeah, he even stopped by a little bit earlier before the broadcast opened up and just reminded us that, you know, if we could talk about what a fast race car driver he is, that it would be great. And I'm here to tell you, Alex, we're not going to do that. Not even going to come close to it. So, but running a hell of a race right here. Hopefully he doesn't run the tires off of it trying to keep up with that 3 machine. But great start to this race here at Myrtle Beach for it.
Yeah, sure.
We'll go back in and check in on Mario Ercolani as he's trying to make his way up through the field. He's in 7th position right now, running a little bit higher of a line. Mike D'Amico now is up into that 8th position, up 6 spots from where he'd started. So he's probably hoping to follow Mario up through the field here.
Yeah, again, I mean, we're just not seeing typical Mike D'Amico out here tonight. Just not really making the progress you would expect him to make. Don't know if he's just taking it easy or if he's just not real comfortable out there tonight. I have a feeling before this thing's over with, we're definitely going to see him up the front. But right now, this is not typical.
No, and I think you're right. I think before all said and done, he'll find a way to work his way up into the top 5, top 3 easily. As we continue to kind of watch Mario try to pick his way through the field. And I tell you, Jamie, you know, sitting here and watching this race, and I have a limited amount of track time here as well. I've run the Xfinity cars here before, I think on a couple different occasions. And the track's a lot of fun, but as you can see, it's not easy to pass at all.
No, it's not. And what we're seeing is, I mean, really, Alex Marinelli is all over the bumper of Christopher Morris, but just can't really do anything with it. I mean, it's pretty much one groove. Not a whole lot of options here for running multiple lanes, so you're really either going to have somebody make a mistake, or you might just have to put the bumper to somebody and get them up out of your way.
Yep, those are usually one of the two ways you can make a pass on a tough track. Is, you know, somebody's going to make a mistake, and we rarely see a mistake out of that 3 car. Or you're going to have to get up there and rattle the cage a little bit and see if you can't, you know, coax them into a mistake. But Alex Marinelli, again, running very strong here tonight, running in that second position. Christopher Morris Jr. running out there in first, and Jake Ellickson still having a heck of a night running back in third place right now, so hats off to that 27 car as well.
Yeah, he's really hanging with these guys, you know, not really losing much time to the leader here. He's keeping pace, so good run for him. Keep it going, Jake.
Yes, the field is starting to spread out just a little bit here. Again, as we saw in that first run, everybody kind of finding their spot to run, and just kind of running their race right now. A lot of laps left here to go. We're coming up on 70 laps left to go here tonight. Been some great racing so far. One caution for an accident earlier that ended up involving a couple cars towards the back of the field, but by the time the leaders came around, unfortunately, Mario Urcolani had gotten caught up in it as well. But as we're seeing, Mario has worked his way up into 5th position right now, so he continues to pick off these cars one by one.
Definitely making his way up. Seeing Alex Marinelli fall back just a little bit off of our leader here.
Yeah, we'll really start to see what these drivers, whether these drivers have really taken care of these cars and these tires. You know, as these runs get longer and longer, and especially the power these super late models put down, you're going to start burning up some right rears here, and that's going to probably start showing up here in the next 10 laps or so, how hard you drove it in the first part of this run.
Oh, definitely, especially as loose as we were seeing them in practice up off the corner. You know, these cars are right on the edge, and I agree. These right rear tires are probably giving up right about now.
We see Mario challenging for 4th position. Gets a nose underneath the 13 machine of John Dickerman. And we're also seeing Mike D'Amico work his way up through the field, as he's got a nose underneath the 7 machine of Cooper Bouchard. So those two continue to race side by side. Boy, that is some tight racing back here for the 5th position. Looks like Mike D'Amico is finally able to clear that 7 machine. I say that, and the 7 drives it in hard on the outside. Those two continue to battle. That time around, Mike D'Amico is clear of the 7 machine. Again, Mario Urcolani has now moved himself up into the 4th position and sets his sights on the next car in front of him, which would be that 27 machine of Jake Ellickson.
Closing in up on the back of the 17 car right now. He's wanting to get that 27 into 2nd place.
Christopher Morris Jr. has now moved out to a 2.5 lead over that 2nd place car of Alex Marinelli. So he continues to kind of grow his lead each and every lap here a little bit. We'll have to see once Mario is able to work his way around this 2nd place car, if Mario is going to be able to close that gap at all, as it now is grown to 1.7 seconds.
And looks like Alex is having a little bit of a hard time keeping that car down on the bottom. Looks a little bit tight for him, but right now, if Jake Ellingson doesn't get a move on and make that pass, take over 2nd place, he's going to lose 3rd place here to Mario Urcolani, which is to his inside right now, because they're getting 1 and 2.
Good run up off the high side there, so.
Sure did. He's able to hold on to that third position. He closes the door there as they go into turn 3. Once again, heading in turn 1. Mario Ortolani takes 41 to the inside. Looks like he's going to make the pass this time around.
Yeah, and as suspected and called out by you, Jamie, Mike D'Amico is working his way up through the field. He is now all over the back bumper of that number 27 machine.
Yeah, it didn't take him long to get going, did it?
Oh, I think he gave Jake a little bit of a tap there. That lead for Christopher Morris now has grown to 3 seconds, and so he continues just to absolutely dominate this race right now. But Mario Ortolani is on the way as he continues to work his way up through traffic. Next car in front of him is going to be Alex Marinelli in that 17 machine. We've got a group of about 5 drivers right there, 2nd through 6th, that are really fighting it out. As now Mike D'Amico has moved around the 27 of Jake Ellingson, moves him up into 4th position, so he has gained 10 spots since the start of this race.
Yeah, I've seen these guys really get close to those turtles down there in turn 1 and 2. Hope somebody's not going to ruin their race with those.
Yeah, you do not want any part of those things. They are huge bumps down there, and they will knock your car all around. And now Mario has moved past the 17 machine. The 17 tries to do a crossover here. Don't know that that's going to work out real well for him. Mario powers up that 41 on the outside, and he is cleared for 2nd position. But now it is a 4-second gap up to the leader.
Oh, whoa. Mike D'Amico really closed in. Got in deep down in the 3 and 4. Thought he was going to be turning Alex Marinelli around there, but I don't know that he actually made contact, but it got awful close.
Yep, as Mike D'Amico now is working his way around the 17 machine, so now up into the top 3. We're on lap number 54 of our scheduled 105 here tonight. Looks like Alex has really used that car up as he is starting to fall back. He's now going to come under fire from Jake Ellingson in the number 27 machine.
Yeah, that 17 car is not one to turn anymore. Even when he's not being passed, he's running a lane higher than everybody else. He just can't get that car down to that white line.
Those two continue to battle side by side. Best battle on the track right now. 27 and 17 back here battling it out for that 4th and 5th position.
I tell you what, even with Mario Ortolani getting around everybody into 2nd place, Christopher Morris continues to pad his lead and pull away.
Jake gets down into that corner hot, gets into the side of the 17 machine, and that's going to allow John Dickerman to clear him as well. So that'll drop Alex Marinelli back to 6th position here. You're right, Jamie. That is one ill-handling 17 machine right now.
Now he's coming up to fire from Peyton Hill in the 48, who is a lap down right now, so it's really not for position. But
well, let's go back in and check up in our leader. It seems like we haven't checked in on him in a while. He's out there in his own zip code, but the lead is shrinking ever so slightly here.
yeah, as soon as I started talking about him padding his lead, Mario Ortolani's knocked a couple tenths off of that and is making ground on the leader.
As we look back at the last few laps here, Mario's been able to knock off a couple tenths there. That last lap, he was about a half a tenth slower. So we'll kind of keep track here and see how the gap either grows or shrinks. As we are past halfway in our race here tonight. We're on lap number 60 of our scheduled 105 here tonight in the Maple Ridge Racing Series. Again, for this season, they're going back and forth between the super late models and the Gander Outdoor trucks. This week, we're here in the super late models, running at Myrtle Beach. It's been a great race here so far. One caution early on, and a lot of green flag racing since then. And
Oh,
caution has come out.
Was thrown by race control, so maybe we can figure out what it came out for. Did not see anything.
As we go back and look through a lot of these cars in the field, I'm seeing everybody pointed in the right direction. So not sure if this is a, maybe it's a competition caution, Jamie. I don't know. Everything I can see, all cars are pointed in the right direction.
Like they're giving some wave arounds here, so Peyton Hill, Kevin Otis will get back on the lead lap.
And all of our leaders are going to come down pit lane here for fresh tires. Fuel shouldn't be an issue at this point in time. We'll watch the pit stop here of Christopher Morrison, the number 3 machine. I'm sure a lot of these guys are happy to come down. I know Alex Marinelli's got to be extremely happy to come down pit road. And I don't know if Mario just took right sides or what the case was, but he is going to lead this off of pit road by a
margin.
I think he only took right side tires there, JB.
I don't know about that. I'm not sure what's taking Jake Ellingson so long to get going here. He's going to lose. He's going to lose that spot. Well, maybe not. I thought Jonathan Dickerman beat him out, but oh, there he goes. Okay, he did in fact. Interesting.
When this thing all sorts itself out here. That will turn the lead back over to Mario Ercolani on a 2-tire stop.
We'll have to see how that works out. I can't imagine. From the looks of these cars, tire wear is definitely an issue, and I can only imagine how loose this car is going to be with only right side tires on it.
Well, that's a bold call. I don't know that I would have made that same one. I mean, you've gotten yourself, caught up. You were there in second position, and now you're going to be a little bit off when it comes to the tires here. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, we still got 40 laps to go, so that's a kind of a ways. If this thing goes green the rest of the way, that's 40 laps you got to go on those left side tires. You're going to run the whole race on that same set, so you're going to be at a big disadvantage probably halfway into this run.
This car is pulling off right now. Looks like Christopher Morris Jr. is going to restart back in the 5th position, as he must have had a bad pit stop or something go on here. Still a lot of
guys sorted out. They should probably.
Well, green flag is out. We're underway. Mario Ercolani, the 41 machine, back out to the point here after a 2-tire stop. He's going to have Mike D'Amico right behind him. Peyton Hill now up into the 3rd position. John Dickerman is now running in 4th. Christopher Morris Jr. back there in 5th position. So this has definitely really changed up the running order here.
It sure has.
85 up into the wall. Stays clear of everybody else. Falls back to the back of the pack here. We'll have to see how these 2 tires go for the 41 machine here, as he's able to pull out to 0.7 of a second lead right now.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem to have affected him at all. I mean, he's got in track position, and right now he's putting down some good lap times.
Yeah, that last
question how long it'll actually hold up.
That last lap was his fastest lap of the race at an 18.66. So we'll have to see how it holds up in the long run, but in the short run, he is as fast as he's been all night long.
Definitely, he's putting some ground between him and Mike D'Amico. He's out almost to a full second lead right now. figured he just goes out there and runs as hard as he can, pad his lead, and just try to hold on to the end, assuming this thing goes the rest of the way green.
Yeah, I mean, each and every week, Jamie, when we talk about pit strategy and fuel strategy and all these different types of things, and we think we've got it figured out, one of these drivers does something that just throws us for a loop. And for this evening, right now, the 41 machine is going to win that prize here tonight. Is his two-tire strategy here to get that car back out front is working right now. Gap seems to be kind of leveling off here between him and the number 29 of Michael D'Amico right now. It's level, jumps between 7 and 8 tenths of a second. Christopher Morris Jr. has now worked his way up into third position, and he is about a second and a half or so behind our leader. Peyton Hill's fallen back to fourth. Fifth position right now belongs to Alex Marinelli, so he's got them 4 fresh feel-goods on there, and probably feeling a lot better about his chances here tonight. Jake Ellingson back in sixth position. John Deckerman running back in seventh. Cooper Bouchard running in eighth, and then Randy Koching is running in ninth position right now. And rounding out our top 10 is that 09 of Kevin Otis.
And we got Alex V sighting in the stream.
Well, always good to have him around.
See Alex around.
That's a really good. Yeah, stepped away for a few seconds there to kind of chronicle the top 10 cars, and Mario Urcolani has stepped out to a 1.7 second lead. Is now Christopher Morris and Mike D'Amico are battling for second place. And that number 3 machine's able to get by the 29 and move himself up into second place. So he's going to get up there and try to track down Mario for the lead here.
Yeah, I just think we're seeing with Mike D'Amico tonight, he just does not have the short run speed that we typically see from him. He definitely made his way through the field on the long run on the last long green flag run we had, but he was losing ground to the leaders at the end of that run. So it's not typical Mike D'Amico night.
Yeah, from starting out back, but moved his way up to the top 3 right now. He's up 11 positions from where he had started. Mario and Christopher are exactly where they started this race out. It does look like Christopher Morris is starting to inch in on him.
About 25 laps to go here. Settle this thing out.
As we look at the lap times between our first and second place car here, Christopher Morris Jr. has been able to run faster lap times right now, and he slowly but surely is starting to close the gap. That last time by, they almost matched each other. But it's going to be one thing for that number 3 machine to get up there. I think it's going to be a whole different thing for him to be able to pass him.
For sure, and just matching lap times is not going to get it done. I mean, he gained, 0.05 of a second there on that one, which he's going to have to do better than that to reel him in, but he's going to have to do a lot better than that to get around him. 0.05 of a second is not going to make a pass here at Myrtle Beach.
That time by, he's about a tenth or so better than our leader, so he continues to make up some ground. He's closed it to almost a second, but the laps are going to continue to click off here pretty quickly. So time's limited, and I agree with you, Jamie. He's going to have to do better than that to get up to him. He's going to have to do a lot better than that to be able to get around that 41 machine. So he clicks off another tenth that time by. Again, kind of close the lead down to about a second here. That time by, they almost equaled each other out there. So, I don't know, the laps continue to wind down. We got 20 laps left here to go. Lead is kind of stabilized at 1.1 seconds. We continue to watch the lap times of our leaders. In the last couple of laps, Mario's just been a tick better than that number 3 machine.
Wow, yeah, he's opening his lead back. Well, They just keep swapping his tens back and forth, but I mean that works in Mario's favor for sure. As laps are winding down here, I mean he'll gladly swap a tenth every other lap. Uh, just with this few laps left in the race.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, he's more than happy to swap him back back and forth a little bit, or even, you know, lose a little bit. He's still got a. I'm gonna call it a comfortable lead. Nothing's comfortable when you're out there leading these races, especially with there's still quite a bit of time left. 17 laps here to go, so he definitely isn't comfortable, but would like to, be able to stretch that lead just a little bit more here.
Tell you what, one guy you probably should give a shout out to right now is Peyton Hill in that 48. We saw him, before this last caution came out. Peyton was a lap down, trapped a lap down. I think he was involved in that first incident. He wasn't the one that took the leader out, but he was involved in that. But he got back on the lead lap with that wave around after that caution and has maintained running in fourth place. So that's quite the rebound for Peyton Hill in that 48 tonight.
Yeah, I agree with you. Once he got that wave around, really the way things sorted out during that caution, got to restart up here in the top 5 and has maintained that position. So showing that cars had speed all night long. It just got caught up in some early stuff there. And we see Jake Ellingson and Alex Marinelli battling it out for 5th position right now, with John Dickerman right there behind him. These 3 cars battling hard for the 5th position. 13 laps left here to go tonight in the Maple Ridge Super Truck Series. And again, a big shout out to Vermont Sim Racer and everybody up there for sponsoring this series, for, showing our broadcast each and every week and being a big supporter of the sim racing community. We truly thank you. And Mike, thanks for stopping by the booth here tonight as we see Alex Marinelli up into the wall, coming out of turn 4, going to lose all kinds of positions here.
Wow.
A lot of damage to the side of that 17 machine.
Good job by Jonathan Dickerman and Cooper Bouchard to get around that and without bringing a yellow out here. That was really close, but those guys heads up and avoided just plowing into Alex Marinelli.
We head back up in and check in on our leader here. He's going to come up on some lap traffic. Lap traffic stays way high.
Way high.
Up into the wall.
Don't need to go quite that far, Randy, but I'm sure Mario appreciates the effort.
We see that more times than not. I tell you, the lap cars, which, great sportsmanship and all that stuff, but we see it more times than not. These guys just put themselves up into the wall. We're like, hey, just maintain your line. We'll be okay here.
But you don't want to be that guy that takes the leader out, especially with less than 10 laps to go here. We got 9 laps, I guess, 8 laps to go. It's already happened to Mario once, but good on Randy Koching there for getting up out of the way. But Randy, you don't have to bury it in the wall there, bud.
As the laps continue to wind down here, 7 laps left to go. And Jamie, I don't think that 3 machine's got enough to get up there. As Mario's been able to maintain his lead a little bit. He's eaten into it. I think it's just under a second right now. But there's just not enough time left with 6 laps left to go, and they continue to kind of swap this 10th back and forth again.
Yeah, there's not enough time left to get to him and pass him. He may get to him. He's not going to be able to pass him. So, I'm not going to call it just yet, but Mario Orgolani's definitely got this race under control at this point.
Yeah, and run a very, very strong race. And again, running back in 3rd position, Mike D'Amico here. And we kind of chronicled it a little bit here tonight. Just not the typical Mike D'Amico kind of night. That car definitely seems to do better in the longer run here, but he was able to work it up into the top 3 here. So if things stay the way they are, I think he's going to take that podium finish and be happy with it tonight.
Oh, yeah, for sure. look, bad night for Mike D'Amico still puts him on top 3. So, I'm sure everybody else in this field would be glad to take a bad Mike D'Amico night. So he might have struggled a little bit from his norm, but definitely it's not been a bad race by any means.
No, not at all. As we are winding these laps down, that lead is now up to a second right now. Mario Urcolani, who was caught up in that early accident when he was coming back around, and a couple cars still parked on the track, and ended up knocking him back into the field. Had to use his fast repair, but through a lot of hard racing, he worked his way up into the field. A little bit of pit strategy, a two-tire stop, which seems to have worked out perfectly for him, as he's going to come around this time by and grab the white flag. One lap left here to go. And the Maple Ridge Super Truck Series brought to you by Vermont Sim Racer.
What a recovery for him. I'm sure he's still going to be plenty mad about that first incident. But, yeah, I mean, what a rebound. Pulling off a win here. Second win of the season for him. And Mario Urcolani has definitely now established himself as a threat for Christopher Morris and Michael D'Amico to have to deal with each and every week.
Yeah, what a great race out of him this evening. Never gave up on it whatsoever. Just kept powering it up. And again, with a very bold pit strategy there, taking two tires, showed that was the winning move here tonight. So, yes, congratulations to that number 41 machine on his second win here. And we'll have to see if he's able to win one in the trucks as well, because this is two super late wins for him.
Yeah, you know, last week was Daytona. And,
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't put that as any indication on his ability to handle that truck. So I think he's gonna be just as strong next time they're in the trucks as he is in the super lates.
As next week they'll be behind the wheel of the trucks, and right now it's at Miami Homestead Speedway. But I know Alex has been talking about some scheduling changes, so we'll see what it is. But they'll be at hopefully another mile at a mile and a half track, and we'll really be able to showcase what some of these guys can do. But and you can tell Mario's won a race or two.
He knows right where it's at, don't he?
He knows right where victory lane's at, knows exactly how to park the car to get the best TV camera angles. So, Mike, we appreciate you as well. Some great runs throughout the field here tonight. Let's go ahead and grab a hold of Mike D'Amico, who's sitting in the waiting room, and talk to our third place finisher. Hey, Mike, it's Pat and Jamie up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. How you doing, guys?
Doing great here this evening. We kind of chronicled a little bit throughout the broadcast. It didn't seem like a typical Mike D'Amico kind of night. You started out back. You were able to get that car to the front. So just kind of take us through your race here and how you were able to bring it home with this podium finish.
Yeah, I guess you could call it not a typical Mike D'Amico night. Well, in qualifying, I hit the wall twice, so obviously no time allowed. And I just purchased this track tonight, so never raced here before. I went into practice. I was wondering, what the hell am I doing here? Like, this is not going to be a fun night. But you know what? I'll take a third. I found something at the end. If I had maybe another 20, 30 laps, maybe I would have had a shot, but we'll never know.
Yeah, hey Mike, congratulations, man, for pulling that off. Third place finish. Like you, I had to purchase this track to come on to this broadcast tonight. I've never turned any laps here at Myrtle Beach. Looks like it's a pretty fun track. Looks like passing here is a real issue. Is it as bad as it looks?
It reminds me of a flat linear speedway. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just a one groove racetrack. You know what? You could mix it with Lanier and a little bit of Loudon. And that to me feels like what Myrtle Beach is, to be quite frank.
Gotcha. Yeah. One other thing we saw early in practice, didn't see it so much during the race, but in practice it looked like the car was really free on exit. Saw a lot of guys spinning up off the corner. Was that the case in the race tonight, or did it tighten up as it went along?
Yeah, it was definitely free to start, and it tightened up a little bit, but still, at the end of the day, it was still, to me, it was loose as shit coming off. I couldn't put the throttle down like I wanted to.
Right on. Well, Mike, again, congratulations on a strong third place finish, considering, you know, lack of seat time here, and you still pulled out a podium finish. So congratulations to you for that. Anybody you need to thank? Shout out sponsors.
No one in particular. For just thanks for everyone for watching on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. Glad you guys are tuning in. Hope you guys are enjoying the racing.
Yeah, man. Well, appreciate you, man, and a great podium finish here tonight. And we'll see you next week behind the wheel of the trucks, Mike.
Thanks. Hey, I got a question for you guys.
Oh boy.
How'd you finish in the 24 hours? I jumped in there for a little bit to hang out with you guys.
We ended up with a thrilling sixth place finish. We had several issues during the overnight that were really not of our own making, just issues with other cars. But man, it came down to a sprint to the finish line on the last lap there to get sixth place. So that kind of took some of the sting out of it. But I felt like we definitely had a chance to do a lot better than that. But like I said, that finish, Nate Graham was in the car for us, and seriously, it was a last lap pass and drag race to the line to take sixth place, which after 24 hours, that's pretty incredible that it came down to that. But overall, I mean, definitely proud of the effort that the team put forward.
Yeah, it was an absolute blast. And anybody out there in sim racing world that hasn't done one of those endurance races, we highly encourage it. Bathurst is coming up later this month, and they are so much fun. And then you get this really sense of accomplishment after racing a 24-hour race. But we appreciate you tuning into that as well and supporting us, man. It was an absolute blast, man.
I honestly thought about jumping in a car and seeing how far I could go without falling asleep, but I'm like, yeah, it's not a good idea.
Fair enough, man. We'll get
That,
out
would,
there.
that wouldn't fare well.
Well, Mike, again, congratulations on the third place tonight, man, and we appreciate all the support.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Have a good one.
Yep.
All right, man.
I had forgotten he tuned in, man. That's awesome. Let's grab a hold of our second place finisher, Christopher Morris here. Hey, Chris, Pat, and Jamie up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys. What's up?
Well, I mean, same thing as normal. We're doing a broadcast here. We like talking to our top three drivers, so we figured you'd bring you on in here and have a chat with you. But strong second place finish here tonight. You ran a really good race there. Led a lot of laps here tonight. There towards the end, just didn't seem you could catch up to Mario. What do you take me through your night here tonight, and maybe what you needed a little bit extra there at the end?
Oh man, I felt like I was just as fast as Mario, especially on the long run there. Before he ended up getting caught up with whatever happened with Matt spinning out, I felt like I was starting to run him back down, and he was faster in the first 5 or 6 laps, and then it kind of evened out. And then I started getting back to him, but he got caught up in that, man, and I got the lead, and I just, I got to a really big 4 second lead, and I thought we were all set. I figured everybody's probably gonna have to pit. To top off on fuel and probably get right side tires, and then the caution came out for for whatever reason, and that was just that was kind of the start of it right there. I had to make a pit call now, which part of racing, but it ended up giving me a black flag coming down pit road because it said it was open, but apparently it wasn't. I don't know. Um, so yeah, I had to drop back to fifth or sixth or whatever that was, and there just wasn't enough time for me to get through the field without burning off the right front. So I got to second, started closing in on him, and then it just evened out, and that was it.
Yeah,
Good
Chris,
race,
man.
man.
Congratulations on that second place finish. Yeah, I can't give you a good answer on what that caution was for. We didn't see anything. So tough break there. You definitely had this race in hand before that happened. And Mario, man, Mario pulled out a two tire pit stop there, which when he did that, I did not think that was going to work out very well for him, but he made it work. How was that car handling for you throughout the night?
Oh man, I love the slick, bumpy tracks. This Rockingham, old Pocono. I love the tracks that are like this, and I thought the thing handled great. You could really drive it hard down into the corner, stomp on the brake, let it roll, hammer off the throttle, or hammer the throttle off the corner if you wanted to. It's it's crazy. I almost feel like the super late model has a little too much grip since the last update they did to it. They used to slide around a lot more, but it's fun. It makes for really great racing. This track gets a little hard to pass and run side by side. There's not really much of a high groove, especially through 1 and 2. So you don't really see it here. But I'm looking forward to the rest of the season with it. I don't know exactly where else we're going, but I feel like this this part of the league puts on really good races. The Truck Series is yet to be opinion, but I think we'll have some good stuff in that too.
I think you guys were a little hard on yourselves after that race last week. I mean, the racing. From watching the racing last week, it was not bad at all. Especially for the first time, you guys being on a restrictor plate track in a different vehicle. I thought the racing was really well. I mean, you're going to have cautions at Daytona and Talladega, so that's a given. But man, again, congratulations on a strong finish tonight. Anybody you need to thank? Shout out sponsors.
Yeah, shout out Kevin. He started running with us last week, won the race, did a great job, and he's running with Zach and mine's team now. So shout out to him, shout out to Zach and everybody over at Hijinks for sponsoring this super late model. I can't get over how pretty it looks every time I see it. It's probably my favorite paint scheme I've ever ran. So go check those guys out on Facebook, Twitter, their website, hijinks.com and all that. And yeah, man, thanks to you guys for putting on another good broadcast.
All right, man. Well, thanks for joining us here this evening. Great watching you race tonight and battle it out. And again, congratulations on that second place finish. And we'll see you behind the wheel of the trucks next week.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Congratulations to Mario too, man. Another great race by him. I can see he's showing up to win. It's going to be hard to defend that title this year.
Absolutely, he's a strong competitor, but I'm pretty sure the wins are going to start coming your way as well, man. So good race here tonight, and we'll see you next week, brother.
You guys.
All righty. So let's head off and grab a race winner, Mario Urkelani, in the number 41 machine. Hey, Mario, it's Pat and Jamie up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, guys, I got you. What's going on tonight?
Well, we got to watch a great race here this evening. Look there in the early parts of it that you had a very solid car and a lot of steam underneath that hood. Unfortunately, got caught up in a car trying to right itself after an accident there, put you behind a little bit there, but through some great pit strategy and everything like that. I mean, back out front. So take me through the ups and downs of tonight and how you were able to bring that number 41 home with a win.
Yeah, man, I come out into three there, and the spotter was saying car in the middle of the track, and I assumed he was going to stay there, and kind of got rolling backwards, and I T-boned him, and I didn't have many words for myself right after that. I'm like, oh man, but went in. We had a little fast repair for our use, and I went ahead and used it and took some fuel on and just trying to pick my way through the field. I burnt my stuff up a little bit getting through there, but knowing we had a set of tires and probably another pit stop coming, I just kind of pushed it until I got back to second. And when the pit stop came out, I used a little strategy and came back out with the lead and pretty much never looked back at that point.
Yeah, Mario, I felt sick for you when that incident happened early on the race, but man, hell of a comeback for you to still come back out here and get this win tonight. You did it with a two-tire stop. I was questioning that strategy. I would not have had the guts to pull that off, man. How was that car feeling late in that run there with taking only two tires?
Yeah, I felt like I had to do it to get by Chris. Chris had some speed tonight too, and I was a little nervous that if I didn't get that pole position on the restart, it was gonna hinder me in getting by him on the outside. So I took the two, and it was getting tight late, but I was kind of watching the gap between us, the interval, and he'd catch and then I'd pull away a little bit. So with about 10 to go, I was like, okay, I think if I hit my marks, he can't catch me or do anything at this point.
Well, man, you worked it to perfection. Fantastic job. Way to pull off the win here. 2 wins in 3 races. Great rebound from last week. Can't say enough about it, man. Good job. So, anybody you need to thank? Shout out sponsors.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys up in the broadcast booth and the broadcast, and Alex for doing this. Definitely want to thank Elite Performance Industries. The boys over there always got my back.
All right, man. Well, another strong win for that 41 here tonight. So get out there and celebrate it. And then we'll see you next week behind the wheel of the trucks.
10-4. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Well, Jamie, another great Maple Ridge race here tonight. A lot of great racing throughout the evening and some strategy that came into play, but tons of green flag racing, man. So never cease to amaze me the quality of racing these guys have.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I don't know when I'm going to learn to just trust it. Sometimes I question some of the choices for where they race, how they're going to do it, things like that. But man, I mean these guys put on a great show each and every week. And even when it looked like it could possibly go sideways tonight, everything just sorted itself out and they did it once again. Great show, great run by Mario, great pit strategy. I mean, I don't know what more we could ask for.
Yeah, no, I agree completely here, and a lot of great runs for a lot of drivers here tonight. And we talked to our top three there, but Peyton Hill, as we were talking about in that last 10 to 15 laps, what a great recovery there for that 48 machine coming home in fourth position. John Dickerman gets that number 13 machine into fifth position, so a great night for him as well. Cooper Bouchard coming out. I think it's the first time we've seen him out here racing. Jake Ellingson was up and down throughout the evening, but ends up settling back in that seventh position. Alex Marinelli, true to form. Oh, well, hold on. I mean, he was the last car on the lead lap, so I'm not going to say he was slow, but he wasn't fast, and he knows that.
He was fast for a little bit. He looked racy. He looked racy there in the early going.
He did.
He was up there and got up to second place at one point. Was all over the bumper of Christopher Morris for a little bit, and I think he used it up just a little too much and couldn't quite recover from that point. But a good solid run for him.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Great solid run for him. And he did show some speed early on, and you could definitely tell. And I've seen it this season. He is getting, better. I think, he continues to work on his craft there and work on those longer runs. We're going to see that car up front more often than not. But like I said, great racing here this evening. What a fun night here, too, to also have Mike come in from Vermont Sim Racer, have a chat with us at the beginning of the race, learn what they're doing and how they're introducing sim racing up into their community. And it's great to hear they're having great success with that as well. So that was a pretty cool interview, Jamie.
Yeah, absolutely was. It's always great having them come out and talk about it. And definitely, I wish it was closer. 'Cause I would really like to go out there and check it out and try it out, see what they got going on.
Yeah, I would too. And we've had a couple of people approach us and like, hey, why doesn't Go Locker Racing do something like that? And I'm like, well, who knows? Maybe one day. But for now, we're just going to stick to the sim racing world, and we have a lot of fun with it. But for everybody that tunes in, we do truly appreciate it. Comes back and watches us, after the race on YouTube and our Twitch channel. Man, we really appreciate it. All the love and support we get here. Doing a lot of great things across the board. Tomorrow night, we will be behind the wheel of our own truck series. We have our last fun run before we start kicking things off for season number 3 in our trucks. Friday night, we'll be behind the wheel of the Xfinity cars, having some fun with those. So, a lot of chances to catch up with us and a lot of chances to hang out with us. But thanks again to everybody that tunes in. Thanks to all of our sponsors as well. Big shout out again to Vermont Sim Racer, and we will see everybody soon.